So this right here is the 2010 and 2011 Kansas City Yellow Book. This is the yellow pages in Kansas City. Kansas City is kind of unique because it's one of the places in the nation that's got a Federal Reserve Bank in Kansas City. And basically what I'm going to show inside this video, hopefully this won't be really boring or really corny or anything like that, but basically want to show that the Federal Reserve is not part of the federal government. It is a private entity. It works for profit and actually works against the public, might be the best way of putting it. So really what I want to show here is that it's clearly not part of the federal government. It is very clearly a private business. It has nothing to do with the federal government except for the fact that it's protected by the federal government. It is a private business. I just want to show that real clearly, and I don't know, hopefully this will be kind of clear. And hopefully I won't have to do this like 1,000 times. Okay, so in the Yellow Book, it's split up into basically 3 sections. There's the big section, that's the yellow pages, and this is a section where businesses, they advertise, restaurants and nurseries and stuff like that. Then there's the white pages, which is the business listings, and this is where every registered business inside of Kansas City gets listed inside of here, and you can buy bold and highlighted listings inside here, but these white pages are all the business listings. And then at the front, what you've got is the blue pages, and this is the U.S. government offices. These are the government pages. Everybody pretty much knows this. So what I'm going to show real quick is what's inside the U.S. government section. So hopefully this is kind of clear, and I'll try to clear it up as best as I can. But, it's listed alphabetical order, of course. The Federal Reserve would be listed right here, and hopefully you can see this. Here's the environment. There's the Federal Aviation Administration right here. Hopefully it's not too blurry. Then right below that is the Federal Communications Commission. Then below that is the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Then below that is the Federal Emergency Management Agency, also known as FEMA. Then there's the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. Then jump right down, it's the Fish and Wildlife Services. So the Federal Reserve would be listed right here. It would definitely be listed here. If it was a government agency, it would definitely be listed right here inside this section. Okay, but instead, it's actually back here inside the business section. And it's sort of a funny thing. I guess what kind of happens with individuals, and I'm actually reading The Creature from Jekyll Island, which is a second look at the Federal Reserve, really in-depth overview of the Federal Reserve and the history of it, and the IMF and the World Bank. But basically what happens here is we think that it's part of the federal government because of the word federal, sort of foolishly not realizing that a lot of businesses have the word federal. But if you see, I've got circled right here, and hopefully you can see it. It says Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. And funny enough, in this edition of the phone book, it's actually listed right below Federal Recovery and Towing. And if you follow it down, there's the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City. They got a couple different listings here. Then there's Federal Storage. Then there's Federal Tow and Recovery. There's the Federal Transit Administration, which I imagine is a taxi cab service. Then there's Federal Vending Machines. Then Federated Insurance. Federated Mutual Insurance is down here. And usually FedEx. Yeah, FedEx is right there too. I mean, you at least think, of course, FedEx isn't part of the federal government. It's a private business. But this is just showing that. So today, the reason I did it is because, or the reason I made this video today, is because the new 2011-2012 phone book came out, and I wondered, well, it's been a little bit of time, maybe they would have changed it. But as you can see, it's exactly the same. Here are the blue pages again, and you'll see A, B, C, D, E, F. Right here, there's the Federal Aviation Administration, right here. Then there's the Federal Communications Commission, there's the FDIC, there's FEMA, there's the FTC, and boom, once again, there's the Fish and Wildlife Services. You flip over here to the business section, and looks like they downgraded a little bit. They don't have quite as many additional lines as they had in the previous book, but again circled, and hopefully you can see this, it shows Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City, very clearly here in the business section, and again, it's listed right below Federal Recovery and Towing, and Federal Public Defender is right there as well. Then a little below that is Federal Storage and Federal Vending Machine. Clearly, those are not federal businesses of any kind. They're just using the word federal. They aren't part of the government, very, very, very clearly. Hopefully that sort of works and it's not all jumbled. I'll probably make a couple here. So there you go.